Good morning out there in YouTube land. I am Fred. Welcome to DS9 Reactions. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, well, welcome back. We do a lot of welcoming here. Yes, come on, pull this seat. Pull up a chair. I got a couple down here. Um, at the time I'm recording this, I'm about a quarter of the way through recording videos for the Ninja Turtle Next Mutation reaction series. And I figure, you know what? I'm a Star Trek fan, and it's high time I did something Trek related for the YouTube channel. And I was hemming and hawing on what to do. Do I start go with the original series, the animated series, Next Generation, Voyager, Enterprise? Or do I go for like the best series of all time in all as far as Star Trek is concerned with Deep Space Nine? Well, obviously this is DS9 reaction, so you know what my decision ended up being. But it's beyond that. So unlike with the Ninja Turtle Next Mutation reactions, where I recorded a separate video explaining my my familiarity with the Ninja Turtle franchise, it's no secret to those um, who came across this YouTube channel back in 2020, and who are familiar with the my older YouTube channel that I got rid of, and especially those who are longtime friends over on my Twitch channel. I'm a Star Trek fan. I used to play Star Trek online a lot, and uh, it's like a dedicated. I had a dedicated the night to week with it. It's like when they added Voyager content to that, despite my despite my animosity to all things Voyager, but when the Voyager content was added, it was a big deal. When the DS9 content was added, it was a huge deal. It was like it was massive back then, and Deep Space Nine always holds a special place for me because it is the first Trek series I watched from start to finish. Not the first Star Trek series I seen. My introduction to Star Trek was actually Star Trek 3, airing like on a movie of the week of on uh Channel 6 ABC out of Philadelphia, WPIV, I believe are the call letters. Um, so Star Trek 3, that was my introduction to Star Trek. Then I discovered the Next Generation. I think that would have been like the back end of season 3, start of season 4, when I came across the Next Generation, where reruns were airing on weeknights on WTFX Fox 29 in Philadelphia at 5 p.m. So what are you talking, like that early 90s period? So that I was watching, like they were airing reruns then, like 91, 92 ish. Because that a lot of the stuff that was airing on that Fox channel was syndicated stuff. And Star Trek was not like it primetime programming. It was in Next Generation was in syndication. Same thing with Deep Space Nine. It was a syndicated show. Um, yeah, moving right along there, and then from there covered the original series, which was also airing on that same Fox channel on Saturday afternoons. That led to me and my dad getting every episode of TNG and TOS on through Columbia House. I'm talking about those VHS tapes. No longer have those. I think I still have maybe one or two somewhere in my collections and stuff. But Deep Space Nine premiered in January 1993. I know exactly where the hell I was living. I was because the buildings no longer exist. I was living in me, my mom, and my younger brother were living in an apartment on 33rd and Westfield Ave, 33rd Street and Westfield Avenue. in Camden, town in South Jersey, just across from Philadelphia. And in front of which was, and these apartments were behind a Rite Aid. And these were big apartments too. But yeah, that's where I was living. We were living there, and it was like, okay, it was really cool. Deep Space Nine certainly came across as very, very different from the Next Generation, and it certainly seemed so much cooler than uh, than the Next Generation did on so many levels. It felt, well, obviously it was grittier. There was like an edge to it. There was like a danger to it because it felt like, oh yeah, because like Deep Space Nine, this is where it's like the rogues were. This is where it's like the miscreants were. This is where, hell, in essence, DS9 was a freaking ghetto. All right, and again, I'm a Camden native. All right, and in terms of like New Jersey, it's like if you know anything about the town that I was born in, Camden is pretty damn ghetto. It's like we make no apologies about it, especially back then. So when you see, and I will get more into it when we start watching the Emissary, the first episode here shortly. Uh, there there was this like, oh, okay, this station itself was a bit decrepit. It's like it needs a fresh paint of coat. It needs a few new light bulbs. To bring things, up to snuff. All right, it felt like a series that could resonate to people who were like, if to like to the common man, if you will. Perfect perspective here. Next Generation, Ric Flair. Deep Space Nine, Dusty Rhodes. All right, for a wrestling analogy there, right? One of these shows was more for the common man, and it certainly was Deep Space Nine. So now you can imagine what my opinions are on Star Trek Voyager, which I consider to be nothing more than TNG Light with Captain Janeway, and that is the proper name of Kate Mulgrew's character in that show. All right, but we're not talking about the. So anyway, as we're going to get into it here proper. If you don't know how we do these here, you don't hear any audio from the show, but you do get a clear indication of where it is here, so you can sync things up. Granted, we put a blur on it, and we put this on top of it on everything else here. That's mostly to avoid the DMCA issues, and plus, if you've seen the Daria reactions, watch the Ninja Turtles Next Mutation series reactions, which by the time this video is going up, the first episode of that should be premiering. I tend to run my mouth the entire time. It's like I'm a one man show. You think I actually have people that would come over and watch this with me? Are you insane? All right. So so let's get into it here. In fact, let me put my glasses on. On Stardate 43997, Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Federation Starship Enterprise was kidnapped for 6 days by an invading force known as the Borg. Strategically altered, he was forced to lead an assault on Starfleet at Wolf 359. And our first shot of Captain Sisko is him already having that look of defiance. Oh, and hey, Martok. Yeah, I'm that type of Star Trek fan. I know that the guy who played Martok was a Vulcan captain here. That shot of the Excelsior class ship destroying, I believe that is used also in Star Trek Borg. It's been like 30, nearly 30 years since I've last played Star Trek Borg. But still. The boy, the shields go down quick. Actually, the shields go down quick in Star Trek Online too when you go up against a Borg cube too, or at least used to. Well, that set will not be used again. Everything's being blown up today. Bodies are hitting the floor. And it was at this moment Cisco thinks, you know what? We need a ship with that's like nothing but cannons and guns with an engine attached to them. But we are a long way from the USS Ben Cisco's motherfucking pimpan. Credit SF Debris for that. That's funny. I don't think the bullying dude got a name. Then again, I know there is like a novelization of this episode, but I never read the novelization. That blonde's name is Dora. She's on a starship. Guess she's an explorer. Ba-da-ba. It's a wonderful shot when you have the exterior of the space battle going on outside of Saratoga's windows, or the windows of Cisco's quarters. And we see Cyric Loft. No, that's not Cyric Lofton. Who plays Jake? Okay, that's right. This is like 3 years before. Yeah. Yeah. Stupid. Wake up, McFly. Like, yes, lift it. Lift the girders. However, instead of helping, just pull out a tricorder. She's not going. She's right there. Just not going. She's just, going to stay there. Take the boy. You don't really have a choice, Cisco. You gotta get dragged out. Everybody pile into the shuttle. I was wondering, is this a shuttle or is it a proper escape pod? Because it wouldn't have to be somewhat on a Miranda class ship. It has to be with somewhat longest with the amount of people that they got that they crammed into there. Okay, it is a proper escape pods. And the look of defiance that Cisco has, seeing the Saratoga blown up. Yep. That look on Cisco's face. It's why his middle names are "Don't fuck with." All right, there's Cyric Lofton, who is, if you're a baseball fan, you would know that he is, I believe, related to multi-time All-Star Kenny Lofton, who was played for the Indians and the Braves, Phillies, Giants. About, I think, a half dozen other teams over the course of his career. I kind of wonder, what ship is Cisco and Jake traveling on? DS9. It's it's kind of a weird. I know it's a weird question to ask, but you you could almost argue that, oh, they arrives on the Enterprise, but no, he doesn't meet Picard until after he arrives on Deep Space at the S9. Also, the corridors on the whatever ship that Cisco is on before the opening credits even rolls is has a different corridors. There's a rock. There's a rock flying through. Hey, hey, hey. And there's the like big pan over to the station, looking so small until you get it zoomed in properly. Now, of course, we could talk about Avery Brooks, and do you like Cisco with hair or bald? And for me, um, most people prefer says it when Cisco when Avery Brooks is allowed to shave his head and grow his goatee. But him starting with that full head of hair, and it's kind of like the beginning of his journey. Um, and I wouldn't have minded with him with of him having hair from start to finish. I honestly wouldn't. Obviously, I do prefer like the him with the bald look because he just looks so much more badass. And again, you don't want to fuck with this. Looks like the type of dude you don't want to fuck with. But it, it's for aesthetics, and I do understand that Avery Brooks like prefers to have his to look a certain way. But obviously, for DS9, he's like Berman and Pillar had like standards. And the Enterprise docked at DS9. Yeah, you know what? It's not gonna. Kind of funny, like when you think about episodes of DS9 where you see a Galaxy class ship docked at the station, is like what end of season 2 when that gets rammed by a Jem'Hadar fighter. And I'm that type of Star Trek fan, folks. Cole Meany as O'Brien. It's like, oh yes, how many episodes were there where O'Brien must suffer? At least 2 a season, if memory serves me right. Funny that O'Brien's uniform is already dirty, of showing that he did some work. Hey, and there's a Quark. Or should we say the Solarian counselor or Principal Snyder? And yes, the Prophets. Profits. Oh wait, no, those are quarks. Different types of profits for Cisco. Oh. Okay. Keiko had the right ideas. It's like, you know what? Get the station up and running first, and then we'll bring Molly here. Hey, a cushion on the floor is better than most people have to sleep on. Cisco's I love the fact when O'Brien tells Cisco here, Captain Picard would like to see you as soon as possible. Cisco gives him a look like, oh, he does. As in, he does he? Cisco's like, yeah, come here. Come here, like, yeah, bring it in. Bring it in. Like, yeah, come here. Come here, Jake. Yeah, we're gonna have to rough it here. Obviously, Jake is not happy with the situation, but hey, new plays, getting things all set up. You know, one things I was kind of disappointed with in terms of like start toys. There was never like a play set, my knowledge of the ops command set. Like there was one of the Enterprise D bridge, there was one of engineering that came out with Star Trek Generations, and but there was never any DS9 play sets. The 32 degrees Celsius is like what, 90 some odd degrees? O'Brien questioning as to why questioning Cisco, has you ever served with any Bajoran woman? Because O'Brien served with Ensign Rowe, and obviously in the episode Disaster, they were kind of butting heads there. Not a visitor, Major Kira. Hi. That hair. Thank goodness. Thank goodness that hair does not last long. It's like it's all poofy in the back. And it's like with Kira's red hair with her uniform is it's just kind of it makes her look like a clown. I'm sorry. Kira's right. The Federation has no business being there, but the local government of Bajor wants the Federation there. I mean, think about it. The Bajorians fought to get the Cardassians kicked off their planet after like a 50, 60-year occupation. And what happens? The Federation moves on in. but it said, oh, I was right, 60 years ago. I couldn't quite remember. Gotta take a swig of water for the welcome man. Yes, Cisco and Kira will get along sooner or later. And Odo's makeup, looking rather rough here at the very beginning, but compared to how it evolves, then and it says, well, folks are gonna say, oh well, Worf's makeup evolved. Yeah, here's the thing, Worf, Michael Dorn's makeup as Worf in season 1 of TNG looked great from the start. I mean, they got the Ferengi looking good, and there's Nog, RMP Aaron Eisenberg. Cause like imagine my shock when it was like when I learned that he was so much older than he appeared. But it was like it blew my mind. Quite honestly, like so what are you gonna do with a little swinging weapon, swinging mace? Or are you gonna toss it through Odo's head and with that budget T1000 special effects? But still, like that discount version of the T1000's so fluidity effects, morphing effects. Well, tough shit, Odo. You're gonna get used to it. Also, Armin Shimmerman's voice as Quark isn't quite there yet, but and this will be like the only time he does that things towards Nog. Like a little bit of that. Don't really get a lot of that Ferengi like snarling and growling, which was quite common in. Well, actually, was in that. What was it? The last outpost of season 1 TNG, which Armin Shimmerman was actually in. And yeah, the opportunity. One thing you can almost, I believe it was that he took pride in is like fixing a lot of the problems and making the Ferengi respectable based on what Gene Roddenberry envisioned. Yes, Captain Picard can't wait to see him. Yeah. Cisco is not wanting to be anywhere near Picard. And Kira can tell. She also had a little bit of a smirk on her face. Like, yeah, like she can tell that Cisco has a bit of an edge to him. He has an axe to grind. You know, Picard is not a man who doesn't like to wait. What do they call it? Bajor. It's Bajor. Yay, you met him before. Wolf 359. And yeah. And considering chronology wise, this is after Chain of Command, and Picard is like, ooh, shit. There's trauma in the air. So much trauma. And the Kardashians really did a number on Bajor in more ways than one, more than just the strip mining and the slave labor and the half and the cross interspecies children and the yeah we can roll down the list there. In some regards, though, one could say that what it is with Bajor and everything, there is. I seen this said before that it's almost like the breakup of the Soviet Union, where you have like a lot of these smaller countries and stuff just trying to like find their ways, and or the comparisons to like maybe and I know somebody's going to give me shit for saying it, uh Africa, where you have like especially back in the early in the 80s and 90s, a lot of the warlords and stuff, like yes they rule countries, it's like, but it's not exactly ideal to various extents, especially when you look at a lot of the conditions in those countries back then. Not sure what the status is now, but still it's so Bajor you can almost view as like a proxy for those type of situations. Ooh, in the meantime, like Avery Avery Brooks has two tones to his voice: frustrated whisper, borderline on anger, and then loud and shouty. There's no in between. Avery Brooks, like it's and yeah, that's going to be a running joke, folks. So it's like get used to it. Hey, no, yep, Cisco's gonna blackmail you into safety. Blackmail you into safety. Safety staying. Words. Yeah, Oda was looking so forward to get rid of Quark. Yeah, yeah. It's like Oda was like, if Quark is a thief, you never proven it. Quark is many things: a rogue, a scoundrel, a bit of a bit of a cutthroat, but he has a heart of gold. Yeah, Quark is going to be the community leader. Yep. From you know from the from the of all the things that Quark is like the is not the person is like the one to Quark is not exactly ideal for the role, and Quark just has to run things honestly. Like, and Quark just can read the writing on the wall. He wants to get the hell out of Dodge. There's also some weird bit with the lines there. Some lines were clearly re-recorded in post production, especially it's really noticeable in the scene because one of Cisco's lines was to not have like the sound effect behind it. Oh boy, it's 8 a.m. 8 a.m. and then like an alarm clock went off. So yes. Yeah, it's like Nog's gonna stay. It's kind of interesting that Cisco uses Nog as a way to keep Quark on the station. But because Rom is not introduced in this episode, although Max, what is it, Grodenchek, I think is how it's pronounced, does appear. It does appear in this episode. Yep. One thing you gotta appreciate about the Star Trek series, or at least one on the female characters on uniforms, everything's about two sizes too damn tight. You know why people wanted Marina Sirtis's character Deanna Troi to wear a proper uniform? Because they showed everything off, and I make no apologies in pointing that out. Also, Kira is like obviously her actress, not a visitor. Kind of swole in the arms too. It won't be gone in a week. There's a second episode, and then there's a third episode. That's yeah. Well, what's going to happen if the government falls? Well, war will happen, civil war. But what is it good for? I tell you absolutely nothing. Now, I am going to say this right now. In terms of all the names of characters in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, there's always been one name that for me always stood out, just because it sounds so beautiful, rolls off the tongue so well. Kai Opaka. That's just like they were genius in just coming up with that name. I'm glad when the DS9 reaction additions to Star Trek Online that they did give a that there was a nice conclusion to Kai Opaka's story. I wonder if this set was actually built outdoors. Yeah, it had to be built outdoors, at least for that natural light. And there's Kai Opaka, just strolling on in there like a ball, she knows she's important. The Pa? You mean the Klingon ship? Now grab that ear. Grab that ear and pinch. And trust me, if you ever had a pimple on the ear, on your earlobe, and you like squeeze it, and it's like, ooh, yeah, that freaking hurts. But something that is established here that when Kyle Paka, is testing Cisco's Pa, is how can she tell that he does not want to be there? By the does she have some sort of empathic abilities? Because it's not really his body language there. He comes there with respect and everything. Uh, this Bajor is always in jeopardy. For once, it's going to be in one of these days. It's going to be in Wheel of Fortune. Hey, those are prophetic words. Kaiopaka telling Cisco to look for solutions from within. It's, it's quite prophetic. It's an orb. It's like a spinning dumbbell. And welcome to a beach with clear 80-yard lines. They never go. Who walks on sand barefoot? Although that is some ridiculous attire. There's a there, you know, never can. Seeing Cisco or Avery in this purple red beach attire, it's not exactly a flattering look. It's like try to remember, gang, all the memory. Remember when he met Jennifer. He is so happy and she's not having it. Yeah, because you're from the future, you dumbass. Well, I'm sorry. Look. Yeah, I know Cisco can kick my ass 3 ways from Sunday. Like so awkward. He's like, here, have a lemonade. Yeah, never accept drinks from strange people on the beach. That's good advice, especially back in the 90s. I will say this: the actress who plays Jennifer, woo, quite lovely. In fact, her hair is just perfectly blowing in the wind. It's like it's just so it's like nobody else is going to comment on it, but I have to. It's like her hair is almost parallel at times, depending on the way her hair, the way she's turning her head. Ooh, who's the brunette in the back? Okay, never mind. Like, yeah, junior officers, nothing but trouble. Now the question is though, was that the line Cisco said to Jennifer when they actually met? Yeah, that's right. Cisco cooks. Look, and his father is indeed a gourmet chef. Apparently makes the best jambalaya in New Orleans. Yes, you will be sorry, but it won't be the last time you say yes to him on his knees. But we won't ever see the proposal. But the trauma Cisco's facing. 9 orbs appeared, but over the course of the series, we only a second one, I believe. No, 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 no. I take that back. I take that back. There's the orb of time, trials and tribulation, and the what the hell? What the hell was it called? I think it appears in seasons. I want to say season 7. The orb of the emissary. I think it's used to open the again 7 years. Uh oh, I'm trying to remember. It was like the reopen the wormhole. Like, tied to the Pa rapes the entire thing. Again, I'm that type of Star Trek fan. I'm gonna be all over the damn place here. Hence why I can just keep going and just run my mouth nonstop here. He's on a journey. He's on a 7-year journey, a 7-year mission, if you will. Jake sleeping on a. Oh, the chief get him a bunk. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, Jake fell asleep with his glove and baseball. Um, I'm sorry, but I don't think Jake looks anything like Jennifer. He sent him in there, but that's the whole thing with actors and stuff. With kids trying to get them to like look similar to like the actors playing their parents on the show. Yeah, that doesn't quite work there. Meanwhile, down on the promenade, Quark's got the double tables spinning, and I also have to say this as far as what we're seeing of the promenade so far. It's quite clear the set is literally a work in progress because it feels so small. There's a lot more, and there is Rom in the background there. He's but getting like yeah, you see the upper levels that there's a second level to Quarks, but it just feels so condensed compared to how it would evolve over the course of the series. Morn! Since the hall is terrible. But never trust a religious man to make a decent alcohol. This goes like borderline on a shit eating grin there, but still. Not quite, but still. The Enterprise is leaving at 5 in the damn morning. An Obith class vessel. Kira, hi. Jadzia, hi. And there's Bashir. And yes, again, gotta appreciate how tight the uniforms can be on some of the female crew members. And Bashir, it's kind of funny that Bashir is flirting with Jadzia, trying to ask her out and such. But then you realize in the same shot, he is walking off with Kira, and this is that Alexander Siddig and Nana Visitor would eventually get married. so it's kind of like you could say it was subtle. Not subtle. It's just like when you look back in retrospect, it's just so sweet. Especially when you remember like how Bashir puts his foot in his mouth as for being excited about practicing quote unquote frontier medicine. And I timed that exactly. Man, Alexander Siddig is like that baby face of his. You know, a show that was actually really good in. What was it? It was I think over here in the U.S. on BBC, it was called MI5, but I think it was called Spooks in the UK. I forget what season he appears in, but he was quite intense there. And we'll say this about Akira when she wants to verbally grab someone by the balls and twist. She does not rip them off in the way that Captain Insaneway does for 7 years over on Voyager. I make no apologies for that joke. Of course, I probably will be remiss for. We'll have a lot of time to talk about Terry Farrell and like how she left Deep Space Nine, obviously. But let's talk about the Trill makeup here. It's obviously it's the makeup that was seen in the episode "The Perfect Mate." Uh, and there's I've always heard there's two conflicting things about it as to why they gave the retcon the Trill having the spots. Because when the Trill first appeared in the episode "The Host," they had a bit more of a facial makeup. So I've heard a couple conflicting stories as to why. One being that the Trill makeup and the Bajoran makeup look way too damn similar since it was mostly over like the nose. Um, the other one was that Harry Farrell has very sensitive skin. That she has like so that they put the makeup on her and like she broke out. And then the third thing here is that she will be oh, she's just too beautiful to have this makeup on her. And I don't really know because I've heard these variations as to all three plausible. I've just never heard like the definitive reason as to why. But I seen what I've seen like the footage of Terry Farrell with the like there was like a clip of her with just a screen test of it with the initial Trill makeup. She looks great with it. Again, that's just my opinion on that. And the first and last time the bridge of the Enterprise will be seen on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Well, there's quite a few of the TNG sets. Now I kind of wonder who the hell is this little blonde or blondish brunette? Because I would kind of feel that they would have maybe gave a line to maybe one of the TNG background characters for that. And Maggie, the transporter chief, seen in this scene, had appeared in a few episodes of the Next Generation up this at this point. So it's kind of neat there because I think she is the transporter chief for the remaining episodes of TNG 2. Like, is it his favorite transporter room or is it the one that he maintained? Now the question is, why would Picard be calling down to transporter room 3? But it's not just a transporter room, Miles. It's the man in the transporter room. Mostly because O'Brien is beyond a transporter chief. He's a chief petty officer. He's a man who works for a living. Like you can put him in the engineering department. He can work security. He can work tactical. And he can certainly be working maintenance for 7 years, having to deal with that, trying to mesh Federation and Cardassian tech. Now, when the Enterprise pulls away, the transition from the TNG theme to the DS9 like theme is a wonderful shot there, and of course, time to meet our favorite Cardassian, not named Garrick, Gold Dukat, played by Mark Alamo. I can never pronounce the last name right. He appeared in The Wounded and also played a what did he he played the Frenchman he played one of the poker players that that Data runs into in the Times Arrow Part 1. He plays a Romulan in the Neutral Zone from Season 1. And he also plays one of the Atticans in Lonely Among Us. I think they're called the Atticans. They're more like the dog-faced aliens, not the lizard people. But one of the others. But the Cardassian he plays in The Wounded. There is and there is actually something there because obviously both he plays Mark Alamo plays two separate Cardassian characters, and it's in beta canon where I forget the name of the Cardassian he plays in The Wounded, where it says like he is established like he's the cousin of Dukat, and he does not approve of anything that Dukat does. Matter of fact, I think that was the beta canon thing to like the different between the two characters to some degree, and that character was still living. Now, here's a general question: how the hell does Dukat know that Cisco went to see Kalpaka, that he got an orb? Where are the spies? Where is the and I would say where is the listening devices and stuff on the station? But we know that DS9. I know because I'm that type of Star Trek fan that DS9 does have some booby traps and things on it. Promenade just has quarks and that's it. Where else are they gonna go? Goldukat is like in his first scene and stuff, and I have to will comment on it now. He does like he's fully realized as a character. Like he doesn't exactly like he starts at an 8 and turns it up to 11 over the course of the series. So it's like hey, when in doubt, always chase metaphors. You just like you have to chase the metaphor when you have nothing else. You got to chase the wild goose. When the wild goose is all you have to chase, you must chase it. Like everything. Got Cardassians on your doorstep. You got Ferengi hustling people on the promenade. You got Bajorians ready to have a civil war. How can this all be resolved? Born! I tell you, folks, you never want to get Morn talking. He can talk for hours and hours and hours. Kira, you can have Kira, you can have my attention anytime you want. Is it outrageous? Is it truly, truly outrageous? Quark is pissed. But at the same time, the look like Quark seems pissed as if like give him something to give the Cardassians something to put their winnings into. But he does give Kira a bit of a glance, and he gives her a look as if he's in on it. It's really it is subtle as hell. It's subtle as hell. It's like, was Quark in on the plot to get, you know, Odo onto the a Kardashian ship. It's like they could have, they could have like told him that, hey, we gotta close you down. Just need this to happen. Just make sure the Kardashians have a bag to put their goodies in. Like he doesn't he doesn't know that Odo is the bag, but still. And also, since I'm watching this in 16:9, everything is stretched out uh horizontally a bit. So Rene Auberjonois kind of look a lot thicker than he actually was there. But because he was a fairly thin fellow. And our first proper look of the runabouts. Long-range shuttlecraft capable of warp travel. I believe even standard shuttlecraft have like a bit of like a mini warp drive. Or no way, or was that just Voyager's shuttles that had a warp capabilities? Yes, Kira also had a big smile on her face. It's like, yes, it's like anytime she get the fuck with the Cardassians, oh yes, the computers are down, the shields and sensors are down. He was real happy about it. Cardassian transporters are simple to operate. You just gotta kick them and it'll work. See, exactly. Like yes, the constable does nice work. Oh, but I forget when did they get Odo's makeup sorted out? It's like it's I said it's like it's too much of the actor's face in terms of being shown here. Like I'm so used to the face being a lot more smooth. So high proton counts. At least they're not anti-protons. The proton, it's a what you need is a captain, a proton. He'll help. He'll sort that out. Well, there's the reason why it's possible, Dax. It's a wormhole. It's a major wormhole. And those flashing lights. Thank goodness that O'Brien gets those lights sorted out. Because this looking at it, it is the flashing light is just bothering me, and I don't have an issue with flashing lights too much, but look, Jadzia, in the words of Garrus Vakarian, you take every opportunity to do calibrations. Yes, I am a Mass Effect fan too, in case you don't know. Edron? Gamma Quadrant? Yes, you did. So there is going to be that question there. If the orbs are finding their way through the wormhole, yes, I know the wormhole is the celestial temple and the wormhole aliens, the prophets, and everything like that. But there is a question there because there's two ends to that wormhole. So would there shouldn't there have been a planet on in the Gamma Quadrant side, almost like Bajor? as well. Unless the Dominion came along and kicked the shit out of it. You know, entirely possible. And, and like they just pulled into a pit stop here. Hey, you can get atmosphere anywhere. But what type of life can be supported here? What did you land on? That's the question. Hello? Is there anybody out there? And I will comment on the quite a bit of the green screen effects that are seen in this episode. Not just where Cisco walking out of the runabout, but also the holodeck earlier. But you know what? Hey, make use of what green screen effects you can. Green screen, blue screen. It's the chroma. And in that places, wherever this was shot, it's so damn green. It made it easy for chroming things out. But the transitioning and the cutting is it's it, it's remarkable. There's the orb. The orb is well, a orb is there. It really is a shame that we don't really get much of an explanation on the orbs beyond them just being tears of the prophets, things that are sent to the Bajor as signs and so forth. This is my idea of shaking hands, by the way. Oh, no, what you are is half deity. That's what you are. Again, I am that type of Star Trek fan. Oh, and now Dax sees the hellscape that was around. Well, she's now an orb. She is now encased. She is floating away. In most video games, that will be the start of like about a 30-hour long quest to rescue her. Everything is being ripped apart. Boom, 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 boom. That close up on Cisco's face as he now exists in the void. So here's a question: does the orb has warp drive, or is it flying at impulse power? There's two life forms technically inside that orb: Jadzia and the Trill inside of her. Yeah, you know what? Considering its stacks that's being beamed aboard, you're gonna need at least a level 3 security field. Make that a level 4 security field. Meanwhile, back in the void, Cisco's making sure that he has his hand, or that he can see his hand. Now they're jumping around the time. It, it is corporeal. Cisco, she said it is corporeal. It's a physical entity. Well, they can communicate with you. The question is, can you Can they can they dumb it down to you? Also pronounced that Earth is also pronounced E-Earth. The Dragon Ball Z abridged reference. What can I say? So, so here's a general question: how much of this was like the filming of this? Because obviously, some of this was filmed would have been filmed at the same time Cisco and Jake were doing the fishing thing at before he arrives at the station. He had some stuff that was obviously filmed when Cisco met Kai Opaka, and also stuff where Cisco is meeting where he met Jennifer. A non-natural wormhole. Well, you can build a wormhole. Worms build holes in the ground all the time. Cardassians are leaving the Cardassians are moving. Like where, however? Has to be there tomorrow on 6 thrusters. It's like O'Brien is a miracle worker, but he's not. Oh wait, he is that good. And and Kira is at least realizing, okay, the wormhole will be good for Bajor, and if the the Bajorians can make claim to it, and if we have the Federation here, it makes everything doable. It'll take 2 days for the Enterprise to get back. Like, yeah, give the chief like the entire time to like get this entire plan working with themselves to make it lighter so you can move it. You know, the cut there, however, is kind of weird from ops to the upper level of the promenade. But Odo insisting that he goes though. It's weird because that conversation should be happening in the lift, in the turbo lift, not with them walking. It it's a weird choice there. Unless they didn't really have the interiors of like the turbo lifts made yet. And Kira knows not to argue with Odo. If he wants to go, he gets to go. So I wonder beforehand, did Odo have any piloting lesson? Yep. Yes, Cisco is very aggressive and very adversarial. Yeah, you saw contact. Oh, so the orbs were like, sending out messages. It's like, hey, there's something here. Is there something anything out there? Come here. Cisco, you know for a fact that ain't true. Humanity does not respect life above all else. Hey, Martok, how's it going? Martok, again, the actor is the Vulcan captain. Was it J.G. Hetzker? I probably mispronounced the last name. They're jumping around his head. Like in the before time, in the long, long ago. It was a 90-minute episode. So it was like, we're like we're like an hour and 10 into this recording, folks. So it's like, okay, I'll easily be able to handle 45 minutes, but boy, am I running out of material, stuff that I'm coming off the top of my head here. What is linear time? Time is things that goes in a straight line. You must take a step forward, you cannot go back. Basically, time is like Super Mario Brothers. You just go forward. Occasionally you meet a warp zone. Occasionally, you end up in a castle where you gotta go like middle, down, and then up just to reach one of King Koopa's clones. Instability at 12%. Partial field is not going to get it done. Yeah. O'Brien needs all the thrust. He needs all the thrust. Cause I gotta be like a Lord Flashheart, Oof. Yes, it's a Blackadder reference. And the one time in the series where you actually see the station move. And there are actually two idiots. And at this point, I get to call them that. It says like, well, is this station going to move? It's like, oh, it can move. It's like, are they going to be stuck in Bajor's time? It's a freaking space station. It's going to be fixed. Don't just move a space station around willy-nilly. O'Brien is about to have it with this. Is about to have it with this computer. Apparently, the Cardassians have a lot of safeguards in their computer systems. And if you can't do it automatically through the system, do it manually. It's like this, getting that keyboard jam going. And put that nice bubble around it. Good thing they never have to move it ever again. And is at this point, O'Brien will proceed to rip the computer's guts out to make sure it never disobeys him ever again. Skip his own visual range. What could happen if they go in there? They end up in the Gamma Quadrant. That's all. It could be worse. They could end up in the Delta Quadrant like 2 Ferengi, only to later be discovered by the crew of Voyager. Wormhole? What wormhole? oh, oh, oh no! Trust me, it's like they would not be less hostile to Kardashians. So wait, do the Kardashians consider the orbs to be some kind of technology? And again, this raises questions. I know that the Kardashians do have the orb of time, but what about the other ones? Like there is a lot of questions I have in that regard. And there's like another 20 some odd minutes left in this episode here. But what the hell did the Kardashians do to the orbs that they have? We never really learned that to where they determine that things are technology. Because if we think about to what the prophets, the wormhole aliens say to Cisco, and that the devices and stuff, and mentioned the orbs to them, and that they were seeking life forms. not like humans and so forth. What are the orbs simply like probes? Or are they more along the lines like the Prothean artifacts, beacons in as seen in Mass Effect? Um, which it's and I can make those I can make those connections because it's my channel, and I've basically been watching and reacting and commenting on for better portion of an entire hour and 15 minutes here. It's playing in the park. Kind of a cut there in a pan. Oh wait, it's Jake. Excuse me, it's Cisco and Jennifer. When Cisco says like he wants to have a kid, and so it's him looking on his own memories. It's actually a hell of a trippy effect there. Hey, all inquiries need to be domestic. Never want an import an inquiry, especially with what the Mango Mussolini has done here in the United States with tariffs. Importing an inquiry is just not wise anymore. As corporeal entities, humans like having physical activity. And you're asking Cisco's like, what is pleasure? It's like, well, considering that you were just looking like his dead wife, it's like, what, you want him to show you? You need a visual representation. Like, where does he exist? He exists here. He's been dwelling on this day for 3 damn years. He just walks through the flames. It's like she's a power wraith. Seriously, is it not the same damn fire effect that they do use for like all things power race related over the course of this series? It's not often, but just a reminder of the what's happening. Gold Ducat has entered the wormhole, and his ship got the tar kicked out of it. Oh, no wonder it is like they're complaining. It's like traveling through the wormhole is like, okay, you're just traveling through somebody's living room. That's why it says like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, you just want to destroy us and stuff. Yeah, you're traveling like they're tracing through somebody's living room. That's why the wormhole aliens prophets got so damn pissed. Wormhole, it's the thing where you live. Oh, they closed the door. Ah. Well, we didn't. They didn't even know. They didn't even know you were there. Yeah. Is it take responsibility for the actions after the fact? Yes. Everything that you have ever experienced leads you into what you are now and what you will eventually will become. A corpse. That's the that's the inevitability, folks. Just laying it out there. Yeah. Linear procreation after 9 months of carrying a honey baked ham under your shirt. Yes, baseball is very aggressive. You want proof? Look up Pedro Martinez and Roger Clemens in the late '90s, early 2000s, the Yankees, Red Sox. Yep. Trying to explain baseball to aliens. There's a universal concept, and I'm a baseball fan, but trying to explain it down. But what is important is that you never know. There are numerous outcomes in baseball. Granted, these days a lot of people complain about the three true outcomes: a walk, a strikeout, or a home run. In terms of like what most the approach that most hitters take these days for the three true out for the three will be three true outcomes. But there are so many things that can happen. So like each pitch, each hit. So yeah, so everything that Cisco says here to explain using baseball as the analogy here to explain linear existence, it's actually quite genius when you really think about it. Probably one of the few times I will ever praise anything Rick Berman does since he was involved in the writing of this. Granted, maybe it was Michael Pillar that wrote the baseball analogy. Because one of those two was a baseball fan. And I think it was Berman, and it said, and there was a joke. It says, like, they said baseball was uh stopped existing, like sometimes in like the 22nd century. Yes, why do you exist here, Cisco? You gotta face your past. Think about what Kai Opaka said to you. Find the strength from within. Yeah, now you gotta move the station back. A trio of Cardassian Galler class vessels. They, and like three of them can kick the crap out of like a decrepit space station to be quite fair. Yeah, there was a wormhole. There was a wormhole here. Yes, saying that it was artificially created, probably doesn't lend the credibility to it. But at the same time, it's like, hey, there was a wormhole. It formed. Wormholes are temporary, and yeah, it's forth. It was here, and it moved on. And it's they actually could have just they could have used that as an excuse because it was the episode of TNG The Price that says like a stable wormhole, the episode where two Ferengis get stranded in the Delta Quadrant. Look, if they destroyed the warship, there would be like a lot of debris everywhere. It's like, what is he basing that? What is he basing that they destroyed the warship, the Dukat ship on? The fact that the station is no longer in orbit at Bajor and is now here in the Denorius belt. It's like I'm just trying to put together that leap of logic. But that is a nice shot there of the three Galler class vessels all facing the station. And I appreciate one of the things I also appreciate about the opposite is like you have that big column of light with the red light streaming down. It always looks a great It's always like a cool effect there. Just me, little things that I notice. Yeah, I gotta hold on for 20 hours. O'Brien managing Setlick 3. Yeah, O'Brien knows what they do to the prisoners. He was on the Enterprise still when the entire incident with Chain of Command was happened. Unless he transferred off, there is that question: is like in the time frame there? Cisco, that you brought them there. Yeah, the exact solutions from within. Yeah, Kai Opaka giving that prophetic advice. And again, I'm gonna say it right now. It's a shame Kyle Opaka only appears in like 2 episodes of Deep Space Nine and gets left in the Gamma Quadrant. And the only time she gets a continuation to his story is in Star Trek Online during that DS9 expansion. So it was like, yes, spoilers for that game. But yeah, it's like I just like saying Kai Opaka, but I admit it. It's still, I said it earlier. It's a great name. This girl was literally dragged from there. Like, trust when you face trauma, it's like the back of your mind. It always exists. It's like your strongest memories of stuff that you will always go back and reflect on. So if you want to pull it off on the display of, especially coming off of Chain of Command, which were the last 2 TNG episodes that aired before DS9 premiered, you want to put is like, oh yeah, Avery Brooks can do has that acting ring can do a lot of the heavy acting and lifting that Patrick Stewart can. It's a very different style of course, but he can pull it off. And yeah, if you lose someone, yeah, trying to move on, and there's always going to be that part of you that is missing. So when you lose a loved one. But one of the takeaways you can take from this scene with Cisco and him breaking down like this, it's him actually trying coming to terms with his trauma in a big situation, in a tough situation. I mean, it's what it says like Cisco is of Bajor, even though he was not born on Bajor. I mean, his father is a gourmet chef. His mother is was possessed by an alien from a wormhole. Does it raise any questions on where the show goes by me saying that now? Yeah, you bet it does. Okay, do you have any quantums? They only had 6 photons. Do you have any quantum torpedoes? Do you have any rocks that you can throw at them? Yeah, that is her answer. She's a Bajorian as a resistance fighter. Do you think she's gonna surrender to you, dude? Assad, I know you have earned the rank of Gul, but come on now. Oh, Kira just gets to have her first real badass moment. She's just a Bajoran who's been fighting her whole hopeless cause against Cardassians all her life, and she knows she can. She will take you down with her. Kira is that type of person, especially early in the series. She mellows. But the thing is, Kira is not bluffing. She's not bluffing. She will. She will kick, punch, scratch, claw, bite, and everything else in between. Got 5,000 torpedoes, phaser banks on all levels. Uh, you know what? Those armaments of 5,000 photon torpedoes and integrated phaser banks. They will be installed, however, not until Tuesday in about 2-3 years from this point. As Gowron and the fake Martok will find out. How standard, one on each side. What battle stations? I don't think they even have like a. I think they only got one phaser bank working at this point, if memory serves me right. Everybody move along. Everybody get into the safety areas. All right, O'Brien can give him one shot. Yeah, gave him one good shot. But wait, the cargo containers went there. Those are the casualties. All right, hey, we just built this shit set. Well, let's just kick the shit out of it right now. Not gonna really happen. Actually, no. The interior explosions on Deep Space Nine over the course of the series doesn't really happen. Because in Way of the Warrior, a lot of damage is not done. Like interior damage, like that we're seeing here. Yeah, why Bashir? You're up. Oh, Bashir, why were you up in ops this entire time? Why not you were down in the infirmary where the was like? Why was Bashir in ops? Granted, he's a member of the senior staff, but why? He should have already been down there. Ooh, that's an ugly gash on the side of the neck. Yes. One brief moment of Bashir is like showing a bit of intensity, but at this point in it, at the very beginning, we had to talk about Bashir. Yeah, he's a bit of a blank slate and will be for quite some time. But let me know. One more phaser blast. But Kira is going to surrender. She swallowed. She was going to swallow her pride, but thankfully, eventually she gets to pull the bulimic fact. She gets to bring that pride back up because the wormhole is open, and here comes Cisco hugging out Ducat's ship. Oh, there's your wormhole, Major. Don't give the wormhole to the Cardassians. It's for the Bajorans. That his entire ship was probably wrecked. So something that has never been really established at all. Does Cisco, this Cisco like in the time frame from when we last see him before he comes through the wormhole? Is, did he like come to an agreement with the wormhole aliens and stuff? Like, hey, you know what? Let's let us go passing back and forth here. We'll maybe find a way so we're not disrupting you as the ships are traveling passing through. Who knows? Because it's never established as to why they're able to pass back and forth without disrupting, causing havoc for the prophets, the wormhole aliens over the course of the series. It's but have to say this: Cisco and Jake do have a better, like a more realistic parental, parent-child dynamic than Beverly and Wesley Crusher ever had. And because Gates McFadden and Will Wheaton are rather mediocre actors. Eh, no, they didn't take the heart out of the fight. It's just like the surrealness that there was actually a wormhole there. Yeah, it's gonna be a glamour posting. Yeah, yeah. Regarding that conversation about me resigning, Captain. I'm totally sure that you can, Captain. Like the big handoff, the passing of the torch. And you want to know why? You want to know why Voyager ended up being so damn cursed? Think about the passing of the torch moment on for that show in the episode Caretaker. It's not a shaking of the hands. It's basically Quark trying to scam Harry Kim. That's basically set the tone as to why Voyager was such a failure of a series. Yeah, but what about the drink, Akira? She didn't exactly say no to the drink. Hey, can't argue with that. Like, she looks good in a uniform. So yes, the docking needs some fixing. So up the pylons are not in working order. And the Cardassians were a bit mean, but excellent start to the series. Oh, it's like those little freighter ships. And they look a bit weird with little extra wings and stuff on them. Next, go to check John Noah Hertzler. I thought it was J.G. Hertzler. Yes, our talk was in this episode. This was a treat and a delight to go through, start to finish everything. And granted, yeah, I'm all over the place here, like discussing and everything, and my reactions. And this is certainly more podcasty because I have like such an affinity for the um. But yeah, this was wonderful. everything gets set up so nicely there, and the best part is I only ever have to do like there's only have to be like two like nearly 2 hour long episodes ever. One Way of the Warrior and one for what you leave behind, because every other episode is just 45. It's just 45 minutes. Because I was running out of things to say and stuff. No, I had stuff to comment on, but whew, like had to break out the water bottle. I was like, the throat was going a little bit parched there. Um. Anyway, if you'd like to see, I'm not sure. We might try and do this on like a bi-weekly thing, every other Friday. I say for every other Friday. It was like I'm not entirely sure the schedule here, but yeah. But yeah, we'll probably have like more of a break between us here, especially since I still have the Ninja Turtle Next Mutation series to go through to wrap that all up. But still, if you made it here to the very end, I want to thank you for watching. I want to tighten your friendship bracelet. Stay safe. Like, comment, subscribe if you're so inclined. And we will, well, be sure to, if you want to hang out, I'm on Twitch 7 nights a week. If you want to kick over a few bucks to help keep the lights on, as they say, there's a donation link in the description and all that jazz. So with that said, I'm going to go have breakfast. I hope you all have a great day. Catch you next time, folks. Bye.